Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TFD. I have to be honest. By the day, the situation between the WNBA and the Players Union feels like it's getting more tense, not better. What should have been one of the most exciting stretches in league history has turned into something completely different. Think about it. If a new CBA had been finalized, we'd be talking about players traveling, teams reshaping their rosters, expansion drafts shaking up the league, and fans buzzing about what their squads might look like next season. There was real momentum here. We've talked about it before. The Caitlin Clark effect, rising viewership, increased attention, and a new media rights deal all pointed toward growth. Instead, even without an official lockout or strike, the league is already taking damage. Fans are worn out. A lot of people are frustrated not just with the situation, but with how the Players Union is handling it. Some of the messaging has crossed a line, becoming unnecessarily personal and, frankly, unproductive. That kind of noise doesn't help anyone. Now, there was talk of a moratorium, a pause on major movement until a CBA is figured out. That idea is no longer theoretical. It's been agreed upon. And while it may slow things down, it also shows just how serious and unresolved the situation really is. Okay, look here. Ramona Shelburne, who is an NBA insider, said this: the WNBA and WNBPA have reached an agreement on a moratorium for league business, sources tell ESPN. This is necessary because the sides had failed to reach an agreement on a new CBA agreement or an extension by the January 9th deadline. Here also said, didn't make sense for teams to be offering qualifying offers, core designations, or courting free agents until there was a new CBA. Okay, just like I said yesterday, I still believe WNBA teams putting qualifying offers on the table was the right move. At some point, players have to start focusing on actual dollars in front of them, not just abstract ideas. Money that's real, guaranteed, and available right now matters. One of the biggest problems with the current revenue-sharing argument is that it's built on a pipe dream. It sounds good in theory, but it was never truly realistic. And the scary part is this: chasing something that isn't attainable could end up doing real damage to the league itself. Whoever is advising these players on the business side is steering them in a dangerous direction. The players are listening, and if this continues, it risks hurting the very business that supports everyone involved. Right here, this came from Front Office Sports just a little while ago. The union felt the league's proposal contained unnecessary language that went beyond simply delaying free agency. According to a source familiar with the negotiations, the union looked to remove that language in its counter-proposal. I mean, everything that's being done right now, they cannot agree on anything. It seems like they reached this moratorium agreement, but once again, the Players Association had to make changes to it. Let's be honest, they're getting butthurt over every step of this process, and the last thing this situation needs is to be slowed down to a snail's pace. That's where we're at. On Monday afternoon, the WNBPA received a response from the league. Last week, the WNBA contacted every team's front office and advised them that they could begin sending out qualifying offers and core designations under the expired agreement. The reaction across the league was confusion and frustration. Multiple league sources told Front Office Sports that the offers would be meaningless since a full overhaul of the salary system is still being negotiated. And it was never about getting players to sign them. It never was. That wasn't the point. This was a smart move by Adam Silver, by Kathy Engelbert, and by the WNBA owners, putting money back into the players' minds. Lexi Brown and Kalea Copper are among the only players not on rookie contracts signed through 2026. They might be opting out because that's how it's written, WNBPA VP Brianna Stewart said Saturday at Unrivaled. Once again, you've got people speaking from competing professional leagues, and frankly, it's unprofessional. There's been standard messaging across the PA and the executive committee. Don't sign anything, because if you do, you're locked into those numbers. Everyone is in a holding pattern. Normally, WNBA GMs would have until January 20th to send out qualifying offers and core designations. Teams are not expected to send out offers as discussions continue under the moratorium they just agreed to. This is the first real deadline pushing back official league business under the current CBA timeline. And, on top of that, the league is also behind on when it typically conducts the expansion draft, something Toronto and Portland will need, though that date is not legally defined in the CBA. And then, yesterday, you remember Ramona Shelburne brought something up that really should have everyone paying attention. You're now starting to see arenas look to book dates that WNBA games would normally be played on. That alone tells you how serious the situation is becoming. And honestly, it makes me wonder, are the players really thinking this through? Or is something else going on here? I genuinely want to know how many players in this league would actually be willing to accept the current CBA if given a real choice. I would love to see that number, because I don't think it's as small as people want you to believe. And let's be real about something else too. This league has a long history of players bullying one another, treating each other poorly, and creating hostile environments. We've talked about that for years. So ask yourself this. If a player wants to sign the CBA and just go play basketball, how do you think they're going to be treated? You're not going to convince me there isn't some level of pressure or intimidation happening right now within the union and among players. Imagine being one player, or even a small group, say 10 or 12 players, who say, "I'm ready to compromise. I want to move forward." How do you think that goes for them socially and professionally? That's the part nobody is talking about. What happens to the players who want compromise? How are they treated by the players' union? This is exactly why the wrong people are in charge right now. Some of the leadership has outside interests that don't line up with what many players actually want. A lot of players don't care about unrivaled or side business ventures. They want to play in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark is one of those players. And yes, that matters. This has officially turned into a PR disaster, right when the league finally had real momentum. This is bad. Plain and simple. Tell me what you think. And don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, double check. You know how it goes.
Majority of folks that come to an unrivaled game, they come from out of state.
The energy when you're not playing as well.
Knowing the one in the middle, probably all three of them, honestly, they're scouting too. They're like, all right, how do we beat these guys? Who knows what they're talking about?